Hi, and welcome to the next episode of This Is My Architecture. I'm Raghuraman Balachandran from AWS, and today I'm joined by Kiran Darisi from Freshworks. Hi, Kiran.
Hi, Raghu.
Tell us a little bit about Freshworks.
So Freshworks is a business software company making B2B enterprise SaaS products for the world. With more than 200K customers across the globe, we are one of the fastest growing SaaS companies in the world.
That's awesome. Tell us some of the challenges that you face as a company.
So from day one, Freshworks is a global product company. We needed to deploy in multiple geographies for compliance and regulatory requirements. The requirement of the business asks us to run for 24/7.
Okay, that's great. So we got an architecture here. Tell us what's going on.
So our web request starts at Route 53, and we have ALB, which routes the traffic to multiple different services, which spans around thousands of instances. And we designed it in such a way in our architecture, all the layers are horizontally scalable. And we use Redis and Memcache to store our immutable objects. And all our CRUD operations goes to RDS, which is sharded in nature. And we have a podded architecture for multiple regions.
Okay, that's awesome. What's the kind of scale we're talking about here?
So we do around 150K requests per minute web request, and we do 1 million reads on the database side, and we store around 3 billion conversations.
Wow, those are some impressive numbers. Interestingly, you mentioned that yours is a multi-region kind of an architecture where you deploy across multiple geographies. So how do you roll out to a new geography?
For data privacy and compliance purposes, we may roll out into multiple AWS regions. When we roll out to a new region, we don't have a significant customer base where we need to deploy fully blown architecture there, and also in the interest of optimizing the cost. At the same point, we like to have a consistent configuration across the parts so that all our operations are streamlined. We leverage OpsWorks layers inheritance to combine multiple layers like this and have the same infrastructure running across this. Okay,
that's pretty clever. Interestingly, I also see that you got like multiple fleets of EC2 instances in each of these pods in the architecture, right? So I'm assuming that these are services internally?
Yeah, different services.
Different services. So how do they kind of discover each other? How do you route traffic between these services?
So when we have consistent configuration across the parts, still there are variables like credentials, database endpoints, also secrets. We store it in OpsWorks stack settings.
Okay, so you leverage the stack settings to store your dynamic configurations on related to each pod in the architecture.
Yeah.
Okay. I also see KMS in this architecture. What's the role of KMS here?
So when we store it in OpsWorks stack settings, we encrypt it and keep it. When we deploy, we'll decrypt it and serve to the application servers.
Okay, so these are like sensitive credentials that you want to encrypt using KMS and store it in the stack settings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. The other thing that I see is you mentioned that yours is a 24/7 kind of an operation. You can't take downtimes, but at the same time, you have to go and roll out changes to your infrastructure, deployments, and so on and so forth. So how do you perform those deployments without having any downtime in your architecture?
So it's like we are already into 4 regions, and recently we deployed into Mumbai. Whenever we want to push a change to production, we do blue-green deployments. We built our own chatbot called Chatty, which uses the OpsWorks API to roll out changes to multiple regions there.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks, Kiran, for sharing this, and thanks for watching This Is My Architecture.